Okay folks, welcome back to the sim. Here we are in LaGuardia, and it is a really beautiful scenery, LaGuardia. Like, I was just looking at this little building here. Really nice scenery. I haven't really appreciated it much before, but I'm sitting here across the tarmac, across the field from where I was when I left you in the last video. In the last video, of course, I pulled in to a gate just across there, but actually I'm across the other side. You can see where I am just below me. I'm on this really nice little kind of regional stand, I guess you could call it. Let's just have a look there. Nice little stand there, and an air tran, whatever that is. Okay, so since we landed, of course, it flipped from February to March, and that's when all the scenery in FSX and P3D changes from winter to summer, or winter to spring. So that's why, of course, it looks quite different. I really actually I'm really glad it looks nicer now. I was getting a bit bored of all the snow, but anyway, let's look at our weather. So we're here in LaGuardia. We've got wind is 320 at 19, gusting 32, which is going to be pretty crazy trying to get out of here. My passengers are not going to be happy. Temperature is -1 degree Celsius, so we're below freezing, and the dew point is well below freezing. No precipitation. Altimeter is 1031, which is a little high. So we've got a high pressure. We're underneath a high pressure system here. I keep thinking I hear another aircraft engine in the background, but I don't think I see one yet. Let's just go and see what VATSIM's doing. So we have ground. We have LaGuardia ground, which is great. You can see myself sitting there, and I can probably hear... Oh, maybe he's sitting in LaGuardia. Yeah, so 1217 is my first frequency, and then he will probably hand me off to maybe New York area. Maybe New York area would control me coming out as well, or maybe I'd just be handed directly off to New York Center. Who knows? Anyway, we will get to that when we get to it. So the aircraft, let's just have a look, is probably quite cold at the moment. Let's just cycle through my views, and let's go and have a look. Cabin is 0 degrees, so the cabin is pretty cold. I'm going to start up the engine, or let's start up one of the engines. And those little sounds, yeah, those little sounds is probably the wind buffeting the airframe. So I don't like the sound of that. Okay, so the first thing to do is I filed my flight plan. I put in all my waypoints. Let's get the cabin heated up first, and then we'll go from there. That's always a good way to start, isn't it? So let's turn the electrics on. Let's turn on the master, and then the heater, and then the ground blower. And let's turn on the avionics while we're here. So that's going to start heating up the cabin. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to heat up, or we're try to windshield, no smoking, and fasten seatbelts. Yep. What we're going to do is try to start up engine 3. That's good. Do you think so? Let's open up our flaps here. Like so. We've got our engine carburetor air is off, that's fine. So, without much further ado, let's get stuck into failing at starting another engine again, shall we? those are our propeller controls, that's fine. And our emergency switches, and our superchargers, and our fuel tanks. Okay, engine 3. Let's start some inertia on that. Let's drag some primer through it.
Turning 3.
I think it's because I didn't crack my throttles. I always make a mistake like that, don't I?
Oil pressure is rising.
Like so. I'm going to idle around 1400. That should be okay. Wow. I actually managed to make it work. And only the second time around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to give...
Yes, sir. I'm on it.
My aircraft. Right, so we've got the generator for engine 3 come online, which is good. Let's just take a look. The cabin heat is now 19 degrees Celsius, so we could bring in... Yeah, okay, so he's done something there. We could bring in the passengers now, so let's go to our passenger loadout sheet. Let's have heavy fuel, and let's have a heavy load of passengers as well. So that's opening up, and it's set on real-time load.
Oil system check.
Okay, that's all good.
Sir, all systems are ready.
Lovely. We have a little oil spill down there, and we have our ground power unit sitting there. Now we have some power. Let's actually go and connect to LaGuardia ground frequency. Let me just pop on my track IR so I can get some more fluid views going on in the cockpit here. I do really find that my track IR does a fantastic job of increasing my situational awareness and really being able to use the 3D cockpit the way it should be used. So, okay, so let's go down to ground. We have ATIS with JFK ATIS on. Excuse me. We have JFK ATIS on 12872. So actually, I'm just going to listen to JFK ATIS first. That was 12872.
-18. Hotel 3046. Approach and use ILS runway 31 left. ILS runway 31 right. Departing runway 31 left. Notices to landing. Runway 4 right 22 left closed. Avail upon request only. Runway 13 right 31 left shortened. Takeoff distance available 13,806 feet. Good activities within the airport. Numerous planes operating at JFK. Runway status lights operational. CPDLC-DCL operational load clearance and check-out pages. Please echo runway hold short instructions advised on initial contact. You'll have information Charlie. Kennedy Airport ATIS information Charlie. 18510. Ram 310 at 23 just 33. Visibility 10. 5,000 scattered. Ceiling 7,000 broken. Temperature 0. Airport ATIS information Charlie. 18510. Ram 310 at 23 just 33. Visibility 10. 5,000.
Okay, we've got that. So let's go over to LaGuardia ground as 1217. Good afternoon, LaGuardia ground, KLM 990.
KLM 990, recording ground.
LaGuardia ground, KLM 990 with information Charlie from JFK ATIS. Altimeter is 3045. I believe I'm on stand Alpha 6, requesting IFR clearance as filed. That was the worst. Oh my goodness, that was awful.
KLM 990, confirm you intend to be at LaGuardia?
Intend to depart? Was that...
KLM 990, you can get text ATIS from me. I'm not permitted to set up a voice ATIS, unfortunately.
Okay, well, I'll grab the ATIS from you in a bit, KLM 990.
Alright, uniform is current.
Okay, so he has ATIS, but he just... Okay. So information uniform, winds 320, 19 gust, gusting 32. Sky broken, altitude 3,500, landing and departing runway 13. That's runway, not 13, 31. Landing and departing 31. Okay. Cool. Where is his QNH? Oh well. 3045. Hi, LaGuardia ground. Got your ATIS now. Information uniform, runway 31, 8, and that's QNH 3045. Oh, thank you.
KLM 990, recording ground. That's correct. Say intention.
Requesting IFR clearance to Curacao, as filed. IFR, KLM 990.
Okay, KLM 990, confirm that VOR SVJ would be acceptable. That's Sierra Bravo Juliet.
VOR SVJ. Yeah, he's trying to get me a better... oh, come on, Plan G. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, stand by, thanks, KLM 990. Oh, it's so laggy. Just stop lagging, you silly thing. Right. Now I turn it on. Okay, SVJ, he said. Which is... That's where I'm going to have to do this. Find SVJ. I don't know where that is.
KLM 990, New York Center informs me that you'll be going to Robbinsville first, if that's acceptable to you, actually, not 0 Bravo Juliet.
Yeah, I was just trying to find SVJ on my charts, couldn't find it, but I can chat with New York Center, so I can do that 990. This is the most uninformal. This is the most informal ATC chat I've probably ever had. Okay, so yeah, so apparently he doesn't like my VORs. SVJ.
The Guardia ramp with evening though 242 requested clearance for Atlanta.
See, it's so easy for them to say that.
242, standby, clearance on request number 2. So KLM 990, you'd like your request, so Robbinsville, then Kilo Oscar Lima would be fine.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what... Robbinsville. I can't see Robbinsville. Screw it. I'm afraid I don't have Robbinsville with me on my charts at the moment, but I could probably just do vector. I could do a vector departure. 990. I have no clue where. SBJ, is that it? SBJ or SVJ?
990, okay, then you are cleared to Tango November Charlie Charlie. Via the LaGuardia 5 departure, and it's via direct radar vectors Charlie Oscar Lima. That is filed. Columbia FID, expect altitude, expect flight level 240, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is on 125.32. Squawk 1102.
That is cleared to destination Tango November Charlie Charlie, LaGuardia 5 SID. That is direct Charlie Oscar Lima VOR, and then flight level 240. Approach is on 12532 and squawk 1102. KLM 990. This voice is...
KLM 990, you can expect radar vectors to Charlie Oscar Lima.
Radar vectors, thank you very much, 990.
KLM 990, read back correct. Advise ready to taxi.
Will advise ready for taxi, 990. This is so not by the book. I'm so not used to doing this in a 1940s airliner. I need more paper. I need more paper to write on. Right, okay. Right, so he said approach was on 12532, so let's actually just have a look. He was so 12532. 12532. That's New York Center. Okay, 12532. I can do that. And my comms. That's how you change from COM 1 to COM 2. So I'm actually going to put 12532 on COM 2. 125. Right, and he said squawk 1102. So, ooh, direct IR.
Delta 242 advisory.
1102, like so.
Delta 242, you are cleared to Atlanta Airport via the LaGuardia 5 departure. Radar vector is Atlanta, then is filed.
Right, he said...
Flight level 340, 10 minutes after
he said LaGuardia 5 departure.
125.32. Squawk 1103.
He said LaGuardia 5 departure, so I'm going to KLGA.
Okay, Delta 242, clear to Atlanta, LaGuardia 5 departure, radar vector for landing.
LaGuardia 5. There we go. What is this? Ooh. Ooh. I should have actually looked at this before I turned the video on, but anyway. Okay, so LaGuardia. Ooh.
Delta 242, we lost you after Atlanta.
Canarsie. Ooh. Okay. Ah. Hmm. LaGuardia 5 departure. Well, this really, visually, on first looking at this, it doesn't actually help terribly much. It's just showing a load of arrows pointing
Delta
out
242, how do you read me?
from the aircraft, from the airfield. I want to get down here to Colt's Neck, which is the first VOR on my flight plan. So I will be taking off 3-1, probably doing a left-hand turnout, maybe, or right, probably left-hand turnout in radar vectors 2.
KLM.
Okay, so he said KLM. He's probably gonna talk to me again. Anyway, right, let's plot. Col is 115.4. That's 115.4, and what we're going to do is that is going to be roughly Col. That's 219. I'd make that 210 actually, and I'll tell you why later. But that's okay. Right, so I'm pretty much ready for pushback, or ready for taxi. I will push and start, and then
Runway Delta 242, sorry about that.
get my
Delta 242, runway 31. Taxi via Mike, Bravo, Zulu.
Power pressure okay.
okay. So
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, it's great to have all of you flying with us
yeah.
today. It's brisk weather out there, but we'll keep the cabin nice and comfortable for you. Our stewardesses are ready to serve you to make your flight an enjoyable one.
Delta
Make sure your
242 will call
seatbelts
you
are
and push
fastened
back,
and
sorry
enjoy
about
the
that.
flight.
Okay, pushing back.
Stewardesses, prepare for takeoff.
So yeah, this is going to be an interesting departure. Yeah. He's not given me New York area approach, which is fine. He's given me New York Center. So let's just cycle through my views. Let's go back to this one. Alpha 4 that was actually. So I'm ready to taxi 3-1 from Alpha 4. So yep, that's Alpha. That was number 4. So from here, yeah. So from here I'm ready to taxi 3-1, which is way over there actually. So I needed to taxi Yankee. Okay, anyway, let's see what he says. LaGuardia ground, KLM 990 ready to taxi, currently Alpha 4. Currently stand Alpha 4, sorry.
KLM 990, runway 31, taxi via Alpha, Papa, Bravo, Zulu. Hold short runway 22.
That's taxi for runway 31 via Alpha, Papa, Bravo, Zulu, and hold short of runway 22, KLM 990.
KLM 990, sorry about that. There's no Alpha at the beginning. It's that's Alpha Alpha.
Oh, Alpha Alpha, thanks, KLM990. Okay, so he's just said Alpha Alpha, which is that one there, and then Papa, all the way down, and then continue on Bravo, and then Zulu, which is at the very end. But he said hold short, runway 22. So, okay, so right, so that's Alpha, which is not this one there. That's Yankee. This is Alpha Alpha. Cool. Off like a herd of turtles. That's what my father always says. Okay. And having a first officer and having an engineer, the engineer is looking after my engines, he's looking after stuff. So there's the checklists where a normal aircraft you would when you're doing it on VATSIM and you're using checklists and so forth. In this aircraft, your checklists aren't a massive deal because you have an automated crew actually doing things for you. So it's quite nice that way. Okay. So he said hold short runway 22, and runway 22 is actually this one here, so I would actually hold right there. We do have our taxi light on. Not our strobe, thank you. Actually, and let's not go off the taxiway while we're trying to turn around. Let's do nose light. That's what we need. And our taxi light is basically our nose light. It's just named differently, which is why I was trying to figure out what it was. It threw me there for a second. Okay, so let's take stock of the situation. We're going to be flying to over 2,000 nautical miles, and we've got ourselves a very gusty VATSIM departure from LaGuardia. So, yeah. It's not the craziest thing I've ever tried to do, but this definitely is going to be pretty high maintenance, I think. And if we do everything by the book, then we will have an out of memory issue. There will be some random VAS problem, and that's just life until we get P3D version 4 that has 64-bit, and then my life will literally be complete. So.
KLM990 cross runway 22 at Papa.
Cross runway 22 at Papa, KLM990. It's just. I made it a little bit wide there, but that's okay. Let's just do a check. And to be courteous, let's just pop on our strobe light as we cross a runway. Because why not? Engines are idling okay again still. Let's turn that off. Okay, so runway heading is 314. So let's just get our rudder to 314. So that if we engage our rudder, engage our autopilot as soon as we climb out, it's not desynced. Because if it's desynced and you engage your autopilot, it throws the aircraft around trying to latch onto your settings. And let's put, let's put about 8 degrees, just let's say, into our pitch. And the reason, folks, I put in 210 earlier on, because the heading, the VOR track from LaGuardia to our first VOR is actually 212. It's actually 212, not 210. But what I did is I put 210 because I have a feeling that once we take off heading north, we'll either turn left or right outbound. Actually, I think we'll be turning left. We'll be vectored left because we wouldn't be vectored over JFK as we climb and as we depart south. We would be vectored over Newark or over the river. So that's why I added so that radial we would be doing is actually more from the river here down rather than like that. So it would be a different number, but I'm not sure on the exactly what the number would be, so I just kind of guesstimated, which is kind of what they did in aviation in the 1940s anyway. So, you know, it's not like I'm wrong there. Anyway, lovely, and we have a Delta 737 over there, and yonder we have a 747, about 8 miles out. I don't know what he is. Let's actually just check VATSIM. Let's just. There's DHL. Is that DHL? Is that that's cargo? I think. I have a feeling it is. Anyway, he's just chilling over there in an NGX. Whoa, the wind. Wind is pushing me left quite badly. Let's just go see what my wind is doing. Yeah, this is a 20. I'm going to be taking off with a 25 knot headwind. Actually, I'm going to be taking off westward. So I'll just be taking off westward with a left-hand turnout. So no problems there. I'm going to be taking off away from JFK, which is nice. Coming close to Zulu now, at the very end. I could do an engine run-up, but I have a feeling I don't want to, actually. I haven't actually been using any of the checklists, the proper checklists for this aircraft. I've just been flying it and getting a feel for it just by flying it rather than following any standard checklist. So I actually haven't dipped into the A2A standard checklist. What I will do is I feel like at the end of this course making a dedicated
125.32.
12532, thanks very much, KLM990. Okay, so he's handed me off to New York Center. Let's just stop here. Set the parking brake. Take stock of the situation. Let's flick over to...
Oh
crap.
And SkyWest 1634, turn left heading 130, descend and maintain 11,000.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
11,000, SkyWest 1634. SkyWest 1634, turn left heading 130.
That's a 122. You want me to turn
130.
Oh, that's fun. I caught that.
That's a 122.
And
You want me to turn heading 090?
Yeah, an engine failure.
DLT 122, turn right heading 100. Increase your rate of turn.
He's a CRJ. That's cool.
Port Area 135, New York Center, radar contact, cross crank at 7,000. Newark altimeter 3047.
Crank 7,000, 3047, 4135.
I need to jump in. New York Center, KLM 990 with you on the ground at LaGuardia. Threshold runway 31, ready for departure.
KLM 990, stand by.
Will do.
KLM 990, turn right heading 340. Wind 310 at 21, gust 28, runway 31, clear for takeoff.
Cleared takeoff runway 31 and left-hand turn after that to 340. Was that for KLM 990?
Turn right heading 340.
Right heading 340 after takeoff for KLM 990.
Skyway 1634, turn left heading
Okay,
130.
so all right, let's take off.
Yeah, we kind of lost our instrument.
We kind of lost our instruments. That's pretty cool. At least I'm catching it on video, so I've got to do myself some proper VATSIM emergencies one day. You guys would love that. I mean, most of the time my videos are emergencies anyway, just because of the way I fly. But I should actually do some official.
And United 3117, proceed direct rescue.
Right, he said turn right 340 afterwards, actually.
New York Center, Northwest 54 Heavy.
Northwest 54 Heavy, my apologies, sir.
Here goes nothing.
Northwest 54 Heavy, cleared to the Newark Airport. Radar vectors East Texas VOR, then is filed. Maintain 7,000 squawk 6642.
Bye.
Alright, we're cleared via radar vectors to East Texas. Maintain 7,000 squawk 6642 Northwest.
East Texas. East Texas must be.
Heavy readback correct. You expect runway 31.
East Texas must be hot this time. Be nice to go there.
Altimeter 3051.
Rotate.
Alright, we'll give you all back here shortly. Thanks. Northwest 54 Heavy.
Gear coming up. Okay.
And DLT 122, turn left heading 360, vectors to final.
Turn heading 360, vectors to final.
Flaps up. Bringing the props back to about 24, 23, 24. Okay, right hand turn 340.
And altitude 42, stand by. Altitude 42, turn right heading 360. Wind 31021, gust 28, runway 31, clear for takeoff.
Okay, there's my heading.
KLM 990, New York Center, radar contact, climb and maintain 8,000, say altitude passing.
Passing altitude, passing 900 feet, and that's cleared to 8,000 feet, KLM 990.
Red tape 1043, proceed direct with Guardia via wire descend and maintain 4,000.
Okay,
Guardia down 4,000, red tape 1043.
That's a nice view. Look at, oh yes. Oh yeah. I'm gonna watch.
Skyway 1643. Skyway 1643, turn left heading 040 and contact New York approach 128.12.
Repeat that.
Skyway.
So what did you? Are we clear for vectors to final?
Oh yes.
DLT 122, turn left heading 300, maintain 3,000 till established, cleared ILS runway 27 right approach.
That is cool. That is so beautiful.
KLM 990, turn left heading 180.
Turn left 180 degrees, KLM 990. That's turn left. Right, so he's got me direct south now. So I'm going to fly right the way down the river. And I hope
United
seatbelts are on.
1013, proceed direct squad.
Passengers are going to hate this though.
Proceed direct squad for United 1013.
Oop. Watch that climb rate. Yeah, now I've got a tailwind.
242 New York Center, radar contact, climb and maintain.
Nice, more of a
15,000.
crosswind actually.
1,000 double 242.
He said 180. It's actually like back across. Wow, that's quite close to that traffic there. That's actually back across, almost back across the airfield. But that is pretty much like a little bit off my course, but yeah, there's the radial coming in actually.
Port Air 135, contact me for approach 128.55.
135, 35, bye-bye.
I should probably think about putting the autopilot on fairly soon.
And BLT 122, sir, you're north of the localizer. Turn, descend and maintain 2000, turn left, heading 230 to intercept.
So turning left, 220, and maintain.
Okay. Autopilot going on.
Cactus 318, proceed direct with Guardia VOR vectors to final.
VOR, Cactus 318.
There we go. Autopilot is on. And I'm
United 551, leave my airspace to the northwest. Cleveland Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Good day.
and I'm gonna have a fantastic view of JFK.
That is 531 Roger switcher.
There's LaGuardia there, and there where I just took off, and there is JFK. And that is default scenery because I was taking off from LaGuardia, and whenever I...
New York, Northwest 54 Heavy's ready for taxi at Harrisburg.
Northwest 54 Heavy, runway 31, taxi via Golf Alpha.
31 via Gulf Alpha, Northwest 54 Heavy.
DHL 800, leave my airspace to the south. New York radio is closed. Radar service terminated. The frequency change approved. Good day. And DLT 122, contact Philly Tower 118.5.
There's a lot of people around here. There's a DH8 Alpha.
Yeah, correction, the New York 79 551, let's get Cleveland Center is online.
For Air 1043, correction, red tape 1043, turn right heading 070.
070, we do have the field in sight for red tape 1043.
KLM 990, turn right heading 220.
220, 990.
New York Center for Air Jamaica 16,900, just passed off.
220, 990.
Air
There we
Jamaica
go.
11, New York Center squawk 6641.
Woo! Up through the clouds.
6641.
Look at that. Up through the cloud layer. That's New York below me.
New York Center DHL 800, thanks for ATC.
Oh, I'm just loving the green. I'm just loving the green.
United 1523, leaving my airspace to the south. New York radio is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Guardia comes to United 1523.
Air Jamaica 11, New York Center radar contact 15 miles southeast of the Coil VOR. Cross Cameron at maintain 11,000 to 250 knots. Kennedy altimeter 3046.
Cross driving at and maintain 11,500 knots, 3046, Jamaica 11.
Okay, the direct heading to the VOR is actually 223, and he's got me 220, which is fine. I've just got to check what else is on my nav 1.
American 66, standby.
I'm just going to do that because
American 66, squawk 6620.
my next VOR after Colt's Neck is Atlantic City, which is
Red tape
1086.
1043, descend and maintain 2000.
2000, 1048.
Thank you. Cactus 318, descend and maintain 4000.
1086, there you go.
About a 4,000, 318.
You know, for for a departure on VATSIM,
Air Jamaica 11, contact New York approach 128.12 today.
That was actually...
128.12, Air Jamaica 11.
American 66 New York Center, radar contact, cross Genoa at flight level 230.
Genoa, flight level 230, American 66.
Delta 242, turn left, direct, land,
Of course.
340.
340, direct land on 242.
Just what I expected of Plan G.
KLM 990, proceed direct Atlantic City, VOR.
Direct Atlantic City VOR 990. Okay, so he's just given me...
Climb me flight level 240.
Climb 240. Thank you very much, 990. So he's just given me cleared direct Atlantic City, which is great. And I don't actually have the range on Atlantic City yet, so I'm just going to continue on my way.
Cactus 318, reduce speed 210.
The radial I want to get myself onto is 219, so let's put 219 in there. And let's get over there. And let's take my feet off of the rudders and make sure that my manifold pressure is always where it should be.
And New York, Northwest 54 heavy.
So he gave me
departure from Gulf due to
gave me flight level 240, and now giving me a flight level. I need to set my QNH to standard barometric pressure.
Wind 340 at 15, cause 225, runway 1 at golf, 31 at golf, clear for takeoff.
Alright, we'll fly runway heading clear for takeoff, runway 31, Northwest 54 heavy.
Okay, I'm just going to intercept the localizer, the radial for Colt's Neck, which is just down on that shore somewhere. I'm not that far away from it. Oh, it does look beautiful in this light. The Flying Dutchman.
And red tape 1043, turn
we
right.
We definitely have been the Flying Dutchman, haven't we? We've flown all the way over from Amsterdam across the globe, and we've still got a fair ways to go. We've still got another 2,000 nautical miles. So we're having a lot of fun, I think, in this trip. I think this trip would have been done, I mean, I suppose in a matter of days. It would have been, I don't know, how many days would it take to get from Amsterdam down to Curacao? I don't know, maybe 3-4 days flight. So you would be coming out of this aircraft, sleeping in a hotel, getting back into the aircraft, and they would have been flying away again next day. You know, like for days on end to get from A to B. And that was the cutting edge of aviation back then. It was pretty crazy. I have, by the way, guys, I have a vision, and my vision is to actually I'm a bit of a story writer. I do like to do some creative writing, and I'm just generally
Northwest 54,
I'm just
New York
generally
Center,
creative,
contact, climb and maintain
and
7,000.
this whole
Up to 7,000, Northwest 54 heavy.
this whole Lockheed Constellation thing,
Cactus 318, turn right heading 070.
and getting to know the
Sorry,
old
070, 318.
and getting to know the
red
old
tape 1043, turn right heading 220.
and getting to know the old airliners, the romantic golden age of aviation kind of thing. I've decided I have a long-term goal,
Cactus 1043,
which is to create
tape 1043,
like
turn right heading 220.
a comic or like a graphic novel based in the old days of the golden age of 1940s, 1950s aviation. I don't know what airline I would base it in, what aircraft exactly. I'm building that in my mind generally, but I want to create...
United 3117, leave my airspace to the south.
Yeah.
New York radio is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good day.
I want to create like a graphic novel.
Hi, Guardia 16248 Unicom, and you have a good day, and thanks for the ATC services. How's the release back? United 3117.
almost like a comic strip, but in book form. A bit like Tintin, but not Tintin, obviously. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd like to do. Of course, I would be using, be using the Constellation and the Stratocruiser as like a base for my sketches, maybe, and any other P3D kind of that freeware the DC3 freeware that's really good. I would use that as a base for my sketches and stuff as well.
And Northwest 54, turn right, heading 080 to join the Victor 162 airway.
I thought the weather would be a lot worse than it actually is.
Right to 080 to join Victor 162, Northwest 54 heavy.
American 66 cross, landing at maintain flight level 190 at 250 knots.
Course landing at level 190 and 66.
Yeah, so whenever I actually get as far as I possibly can.
And red tape 1043, 5 miles from Queen, turn right, heading 28.
Okay, double is 212, so let's head over to 212.
Red tape 1043, I'm afraid you got stuck on us. Like
that?
Cactus 318, descend and maintain 2000.
Number 2000, 318.
Give ourselves a few extra degrees because we know we've got a headwind from the right hand side, or a crosswind. Sorry. Okay, so so we've crossed Colt's Neck and we're now inbound Atlantic City. So
KLM 990, leave my airspace to the south. Washington Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Frequency change approved. Thank you very much for ATC. Good afternoon. 990.
United 1013, leave my airspace to the southeast. New York radio is closed. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Okay, I've set 122.8 on COM 1. I'm just going to swap back.
Frequency change approved. Have a good day.
Just going to swap back to COM 1. So there we go. That is a departure from LaGuardia, and I got pretty much full coverage on that, despite tower and I didn't get full coverage. I'm lying. I got full coverage in that an ATC controller was in communication with me for that whole process, but each station wasn't active. So tower was not active and approach was not active at LaGuardia, but nonetheless, that was a fantastic departure, and you can see Long Island behind us disappearing into the distance, and we're setting into our southerly course now. Yeah. And this scenery is really easy on my frames because this is just Orbex Vector and Orbex the other one. So yeah, it's really nice on my frames, and actually it looks pretty detailed from up here. It looks really nice. So continuing my climb up through 11,000, I'm going to have the high blowers turn on fairly soon. So other than that, folks, it's pretty much just settling into a nice... I'd actually take my seatbelts off now. I'm pretty much settling into a nice cruise, a very long-term cruise. This is a good 9 hours and 30 minutes flight, and I'm not going to be able to get all of it done today because it's already coming close to 9 p.m. Real time here, and so I'm going to have to break the video. Like I said earlier on, in doing so, it will actually break my career mode, I'm pretty sure, so I won't actually get the career points for this, but that's not really a massive deal to me at the moment because I'm recording a YouTube video, so there's that. But I just love the scenery, the lighting. I just seem to have struck a good chord with the lighting in P3D, using this HDR lighting. I never really liked it until now, and then I thought one day, you know what, I'm just going to try it out and see how I like it, and it surprised me. But talking about P3D, oh, and there's my contrails already at... My contrail's ready at 12,000 feet. That's pretty low. But then again, it is cold up here. It was -1 degrees in LaGuardia, as you know, and yeah. So what's the outside air temperature already? It's already -25 degrees Celsius at 12,000 feet. That's pretty cold. So ironically, now that the scenery looks like it's in summertime, I'm actually experiencing colder weather than I was when I flew into LaGuardia, and it looked like it was completely snowed under. So that's P3D scenery for you. But anyway, I was talking about P3D. I have heard that P3D version 4 has been mentioned. It has been kind of leaked. I wouldn't say leaked, but it's kind of been queried. Certain companies, I think Orbex, have mentioned P3D version 4, and I think it's pretty settled now that P3D version 4 is going to be 64-bit, which is going to eliminate the VAS management issues that everyone is plagued with. I can't tell you in my recent simming experience, in the last 4 months alone, how many crashes I've had and instability issues due to the fact that I'm running in 32-bit. And I cannot wait. I utterly cannot wait. There we go, thank you. So I cannot wait to get rid of this this VAS meter and actually be able to fly around without having to worry about that. What I'm going to do, and I will mention this closer to the time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably have like a not a 24-hour live stream, but a good maybe 18-hour live stream where I take an aircraft and I fly a regional jet route or a prop route, and I'm going to visit as many airports as I can in that stream time without having to restart P3D, because most of the time in P3D, even with its good VAS management capabilities, version 3.3, you can pretty much take off from an airfield that has scenery and fly. So take off from payware scenery and then fly to payware scenery, and that is pretty much all the simulation can handle. And the reasoning is because it has to load assets that are designed by two different companies, and it doesn't like doing that. If you fly from one scenery to another scenery and the two sceneries are by the same developer, like Orbex, and Orbex shares its scenery libraries, it shares its assets, that usually is less of a VAS imprint, because it's just reusing what it already loaded from where you took off to where you land. But generally, you only can fly from one airport to another airport. I have managed to fly to maybe 2 or 3, back and forth. But depending on certain parts of the world, you just have very crashy parts of the world, and times of the day, and weather settings. I might tweak my P3D to work perfectly with a certain aircraft on certain routes, but one day, if it's just really, really stormy and there's loads of cloud or some other thing, and it just labors, it'll crash. And also, other times I've found is sometimes if I've got the sim running like this and I tab out of the sim and then I click back, and then whenever I click back on this here, it will sometimes freeze, just because I'm coming back into the simulator. So really illogical, ridiculous things, which I really, really sincerely hope that a 64-bit sim would sort out. I also am very, very interested in P3D version 4, not only for 64-bit, but because they have mentioned that they are overhauling the lighting. And the lighting in P3D is something, and in FSX as well, the lighting is something I have really felt that needs to be upgraded, seriously upgraded for a long, long time. I'm talking about aircraft shadows never showing up on the tarmac as they should. I'm talking about just weird problems where shadows don't do the right thing, and just general lighting issues. I mean, the lighting engine in P3D is basically the old FSX engine, just with HDR slapped on. So it's not really had any massive work done to it. It's not, so I'm really, really looking forward to the day when I can take off and land, and I can see my shadow on the taxiways and on the runways everywhere I fly, not just certain airports that somehow manage to have shadows. It's just weird. So I'm really, really looking forward to some fantastic flying in a 64-bit P3D. And from the leak, whoever it came from, they did say that all of their add-ons were running in P3D version 4. They were doing beta testing or something. So I don't know how quickly it'll take for developers to update, if they need to update their applications to 64-bit. I don't know really any differences. I don't know what the massive differences are between 32 and 64-bit, but if there is some tweaking to be done, I know Orbex have said that they will tweak all of their scenery to work in P3D version 4 for no extra cost. So if you've already bought Orbex scenery, then you don't have to rebuy it just because you're going into version 4. I'm wondering what the price of P3D version 4 is going to be. It might be the same price as P3D version 3 was, and version 2 and version 1. So, I don't know what that's going to be, but I'm going to be saving up for it, and I'm going to just lay it out there and say it is definitely worth it. It's been needed for a long, long time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. I'm not going to do this VOR to VOR based stuff. You guys have already seen that. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to pause the video now, and I'm going to leave the recording running though, in case I get some nice scenery views, and I'm actually going to come back to you. Yeah, I'm going to come back to you whenever I see some interesting stuff, but I'm going to run this for maybe 2-3 hours, and then I'm going to stop and save, and then I'm going to run a little bit more and a little bit more, and that's the way I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be able to do this all in one go. So thanks very much for watching, guys, and sorry I kind of dragged on. I do generally have stuff to talk about, which is why I like talking in the cruise. That was a fantastic departure from LaGuardia. This has been a fantastic scenery so far. It's been a fantastic series so far. Really, really been enjoying the series, and I hope you guys are as well. Not because we're doing massively technical stuff here, guys. I mean, this is 1940s aviation. All we've got to do is learn how to do radials and VOR tracking and stuff like that, out of the ordinary. So it's more just the adventure. It's more just the idea that this is what they used to do in the 1940s. I'm just enjoying the experience of flying this beautiful aircraft in an environment where everyone is flying jets. So it's interesting. Anyway, enough of me babbling on. I'm going to go get myself some dinner, actually, and a nice hot cup of tea. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Hello, 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 welcome back to the channel. We have just, let me just check the last 119. We've just passed over the last VOR, and I'm setting in 119, like so, and then we're going to turn left, heading roughly 119. We're descending through, let's see, 20,000 feet. So we've got a little ways to go yet before we arrive. Let's just have a look at the outside. Had a lovely flight through the Caribbean on our way down past Jamaica, and we're just now on the southern kind of edge of the Caribbean, just here. So we started the video off up in New York. We took off, we flew south, and I made the cut in the video just here. As you can see, that's the end of the magenta line, or the beginning of the new magenta line. And this afternoon, as I've been doing some video editing, I've been trekking my way south. So I'm just about to come into our final destination, which is kind of fun. This is Willemstad. Willemstad. It's Dutch, so there's no way I'm going to try and there's no way I'm going to pronounce it properly, even if I tried. So the ILS is there. That's ILS 111.9. So that off to our right-hand side is North America. That is North America, ladies and gents. Right there. That's the coast of North America. Or yes, it is actually. Yep, that is the coast of North America. It's just a huge peninsula, but yeah. And imagine we flew all the way from Amsterdam. That's quite a long way. But let us get 119 into... Actually, let's transfer 116.7. 116.7. Let's put 116.7 over into nav 2. That's supposed to be 119. Let's just put that over there. Like so. And then let's use 119 for the localizer, or the ILS. So that's 111.9 in for the ILS, and the last VOR is 116.7. Let's just double check. Yeah, 116.7 and 1119. Okay, cool. So you can see our destination ahead. Let's just get sat down in my seat. Make sure that my feet are on the pedals properly now. Okay. Whew, there we go. So there's a few things that didn't go right whenever I saved and then loaded the simulation again. One tiny kind of glitch, I guess I could call it, is that the cabin temperature, whatever I did, I tried to set the heater on and off and on and off and change the electric circuits around a bit. Whatever I did, I could not get the cabin heater to work, so I've been sitting in cruise, I've been sitting in cruise at about negative 27 degrees Celsius, so the people are pretty much all frozen to death. There's not a lot I could have done about that, I don't think, but unfortunately that's just the way it went. And I think it's something to do with loading a simulation in the air, and the captain of the ship, it went through its cold and dark setup state, and then it went into auto state, and so by the time I got all the systems under control, I think it just wasn't it's not configured properly. So anyway, got a little bit of turbulence coming down. Let's just see my weather. At TNCC is temperature balmy 29 degrees Celsius, participation none, QNH is perfect, it's 1013, wind is 090 at 13 knots. So I'm going to have a fairly strong headwind coming into land. Let's just check. Our altimeter is 1013, that's correct. and we're going to actually have to start descending a bit quicker than what we currently are. So I'm going to increase my propeller pitch. That's going to make the blades flatter against the air and hopefully bring our speed down. Yep, 199, 198, 197, 196, there we go. So, and that's going to allow me to increase my rate of descent even more. So that's a good reason why propeller aircraft don't have spoilers, is that the blades themselves, if you change the propeller pitch so that the angle of the blade is flat against the air, they actually have a drag-inducing effect on the airframe. So we have our seat belts and smoking are on. Windshield is always been on. Let's have a look. Landing lights don't need to go on until I'm under 10,000 feet. Pitot heat is on, obviously. Yeah, so I might have to do a couple of... I might have to drop into the circuit because I am coming in a bit high. I probably should have tried to start descending sooner. But because I've got 26 nautical miles to run. Yeah, 27 nautical miles to run. And I don't think I'm going to lose 13,000 feet in 26 nautical miles. I might. I could surprise myself. I could surprise myself. You never know. But yeah, not much has happened, folks, since I did the beginning part of this video. If you look down in the corner, you'll probably already have noticed it's 22nd of March for me. And so it's been a couple of days, obviously, since I did the first part of this video. But nothing really has changed since... Oh, actually, no. A fairly major thing has changed since I was last doing the beginning of this video. I got a new job, and it's in the industry of aviation. It's related to aviation. So that's going to be incredibly exciting. All I'm going to say now is I'm going to be around modern day military aircraft quite a lot. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a new chapter in the for me in aviation and the interest of aviation, because it's going to force me to get to know modern day combat aircraft. And obviously when you're working maybe in an airfield where you've got modern combat aircraft flying all around all the time, you can't just ignore them. You have to get to know what they're like. You have to fly them in the sim. You have to kind of understand their systems, you know, because you're an addict flight simmer like me, and flight enthusiast. You just need to know these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start learning how to fly the F-15C in DCS. So I'm going to start doing some DCS flying. Up until this point, I've never really been interested in DCS flying because it's all modern combat stuff, and I would go back to IL-2 Battle of Stalingrad to do vintage combat aviation. But now that I'm going to be around these F-15s and other aircraft so often for my job, I'm going to try and learn the F-15. So you never know, I might actually add some F-15 content to the channel in upcoming days, or upcoming months I should say. Of course the other thing I've got to do is I have the PPL training series videos to still do. I'm kind of halfway done editing, maybe 2/3 of the way done editing the next one to upload. So after I upload this video, you should next find a PPL video being uploaded, and I've just got to keep the momentum up with those. I've kind of dropped momentum, what with freelance video work for a certain pilot flight academy that we all know and love, and also just other things, getting this new job, training for it and stuff. And in more time I'll tell you more about what I'm doing in my new job. But for those of you who are interested, it's to do with working on an airfield around F-15s, Ospreys, big military tankers, cargo planes, all sorts of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll let you know more about it when I'm there and when I'm learning more about it. But for now, we have an airfield to land at, and we are coming in too high. So I don't want to be descending any sharper than what I am, or I'm already descending 1100 feet per minute, and that's pretty sharp already. Let's just go and see what the engineer is doing with the cabin pressurization, which should be here. Yeah, you can see the cabin altitude is coming down, and you can see the aircraft altitude is coming down through 12,000 feet. The cabin is currently just coming down through 6,000 feet, and the pressure change is negative 400 per minute. So that's not too bad. That's quite good. I want to hold it there. I wouldn't want to be too much more. Yeah, so whenever I loaded the sim in, because it started me in cold and dark, it threw my passengers quite violently around the cabin, and I heard a couple of screams. So I'm not sure how that's going to end up.
Captain, we should raise our power or lower the RPM.
Okay, sorry, Scott. Excuse me. So let's just check the localizer is 11.2. So let's just set. That's our localizer 112. I'm gonna.
Autopilot on.
Actually, no.
Autopilot on.
Now it's all off. Okay. Whoa. Don't want to be doing that too crazy. Okay, I'm just going to start. Oh, look at the paint job on this, though. I still really love looking at this paint job. So, folks, this is our destination. This is Hato. Or Curacao, sorry. Yeah, it's Hato in Curacao. And this is currently the kind of the Dutch East Indies, I guess you could call it. Back in the day when the Dutch had the East Indies Trading Company had colonies and stuff in the Caribbean. This island still has a lot of Dutch influence, and KLM in modern times will fly a 777 or a 747 out here from Amsterdam all in one flight, and it'll take maybe only 8 hours or 7 or 8 hours or 9 hours or something like that. But of course in 1940s, as we are right now, it's taken us a good couple of days actually, if you add up all of the time and all of the time it would take practically to get passengers in and out of an aircraft. And you know, whenever we come to so we landed in Glasgow, so it would take maybe two full days actually to fly from Amsterdam to where we are right now, which is impressive, which is very impressive. One other thing that's impressive is how stable this aircraft is when it's got its autopilot off. Let's just bring out our nose, wing, tail. Let's put our lights on. And we have our, let's just double check, yeah, 111.9 in nav 1. We've got our nav selected to nav 1, so we should see our localizer and glide slope. And the localizer heading is 112. So, yeah. Yeah, we've put a good couple of hours on this aircraft. Let's go see. Can we pull up our... Yeah, so total flights at 6. Total flight time is 22 hours 50 minutes. And you can see those other details there. So, there's the airfield below us. Nice long runways, offset threshold there. I tried to find some scenery for this airport, but I wasn't able to. We're going to have to do a downwind leg, of course. watch our slip and ball indicator. Yep, that is the turbulence. We're gonna have some wind shear from our crosswind here as we come around. $8,000. Whoop. Oop, it's a little bit too much there. We're going to have to go through a cloud here, which I'm not too happy about, but it's the way life goes. Oop, there we go. So the wind is behind us to our right hand side currently. I love how you can see the reflection in the metalwork there. That's really well done. Okay, a little bit of rudder, and this is where we're going to start feeling the turbulence, because we're shifting the tailwind around behind us. Well, the crosswind is now becoming a tailwind, and we can't descend too rapidly. That'll set the babies crying. Let's just bring our nose up slightly. There we go. Between 1,000 and 1,500 feet per minute is fine by me. Oh my goodness, what did I just hit? I hit S instead of D. Okay, coming around, turning towards the west, in a westerly direction now. Still coming down through 7,500. Let's just roll level there. That's about roughly heading west, so we're heading downwind now. You can see there's the runway below us. Actually, we've got surprisingly little turbulence while going through these clouds. I'm happy with that. I'll buy that. There's the we're going a bit fast. Let's pull the propellers back even further and start to slow down. Oh, coming down through 6,500 now, so we'll do just a long downwind leg. A very long extended downwind leg. Coming down through 5,000. We could do this from the right seat. I'm not sure about that. I quite like the left seat. Okay, we're going to 8.5 nautical miles away from the runway now. 9 nautical miles. Let's make our turn at 9 nautical miles. We're at 4,000 feet, so let's start flattening out, and that'll bring our speed down. Oh, and this is where that tailwind is going to screw around with us here. Our vertical speed is all over the place. Our vertical descent rate is all over the place. There we go, that's better. Keep it up. Keep that ball where it should be. I'm just using some left rudder, just readjusting the trim. Make that smoother. Okay, so let's just flatten out now. Okay, 1 notch of flaps, that's going to really start to slow us down. Okay, I'm going to put props full now, which they are. Okay, localizers coming in, we're above the glide, so we've really got to
Approach flaps.
okay, gear coming down.
Gear down.
It's really going to start slowing us down. And flaps full.
Flaps down.
Yep. Right, we're bang on now. Bang on the glide and the localizer. Look at that. I like it. Right. Let's just get this profile looking good. Yeah, we've got a bit of wind playing around with us here. You can see we're... Okay, 2,000 radio altimeter. It's just showing us 2,000 feet. And when it gets low to the red mark, I will flick it from 2,000 to 200, and then I'll flick it to the 20 mark. Yeah. Or I'll flick it to the 1,000 and then 500. Whoop. Whoa. Is that the wind? Has the wind shifted to my left-hand side? Kind of want to check. Yeah, it has. Look, it's shifted to my left-hand side. You can feel it. Okay. 500 feet descent rate is good. I like it. A little bit below the glide. Let's just bring that up. I am actually only flying at 90 knots here at the moment, so... Whoa! That was weird. It's okay, I'm fully visual now anyway, so I don't need to follow it 100%. Let's just change that to the middle now. That'll tell us when we hit 1,000 feet. So that orange light should start glowing once we get to 1,000. Oh no, the yellow light is glowing instead. Okay. What does that little knob do then if height warning selector 500. Okay, we'll put it to 500, maybe 500, 250 and then 100 or something, I don't know. We'll see. That is a weird view that's happening. It's an interesting scenery here. I quite like it actually. You know, a lot of people don't like default scenery. They're like, we want custom, expensive scenery. But if you get Orbex FTX Global and Orbex FTX Vector, put those two together, and you find in places in the world they really actually look quite nice. They don't look too bad. Like this, it's just like, yeah, nice. Like a bit of desert. We're flying over there. Right, so coming down to 500 feet, and that orange light should start glowing.
500 feet.
Yeah, oh no, it's the red one. So that's 2,000, that's 1,000, that's 500. So I'm not quite sure what that selector switch actually does. Not door, what am I saying? Okay, so here we go. This is the proof of the pudding.
300 feet.
300. Fantastic. It's a good approach. Underneath the glide, but it's okay because we're visual. We've got a nice long stretch of offset runway here, so I don't have to worry about a touchdown zone too much. I can just bring it down at my leisure. Let's bring the propeller back now.
40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go. That was a good landing. Flaps up.
Flaps up.
Just use the brakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize for the issues we had in flight, but we managed to get everything under control. Please follow all instructions from the flight attendants for the remainder of the flight. We appreciate your patience.
Okay. The nose wheel isn't working very well. I'm not actually getting any turn to it. It's really strange. I'm only getting differential braking. I'm not actually getting any nose wheel steering. Why is that? Is that because I loaded this from a loaded state and I didn't start it up from a cold and dark state, maybe? Oh, anyway, folks, there. Right, so let's bring our propellers down to idle. And then mixture off.
Shutting systems down.
Okay, unload. And there we go.
Ground crew to Captain. Cargo door is open.
Welcome to the Caribbean, ladies and gents. It's that simple. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun flying this. It was a bit of an adventure, particularly the more complex departure stuff out of Amsterdam at the beginning of the series, as well as the ATC departure out of LaGuardia. That was a lot of fun earlier in this video. I might actually just go back and rewatch that, just because the The ATC transmissions were fun, and we had that CRJ declare a pan situation, so that was fun. And yeah, it was good. It was good flying this in a VATSIM environment. So I think the next thing in terms of these kinds of airliner videos, the A2A captain of the ship videos, the next videos I think you can expect on my channel of this aircraft in particular are going to be strictly VATSIM videos, strictly videos that are very intensive. They won't be particularly long routes. They'll probably be more regional routes where the VATSIM ATC controllers are more plentiful, and there'll be routes where I'll be doing the full checklist. I'll be doing the all of the proper procedures. And that's going to be part of what's going on next. And I'll also be doing some of the B377 Stratocruiser videos again alongside this one. So I've done a fair amount of flying in this now, bringing this across from Amsterdam, sorry. And now I've brought this all the way here from Amsterdam. I'm going to now go back into the B377 and see how that feels now in comparison. So I've done a good number of hours from Belgium to Scotland to Newfoundland to New York to the Caribbean. So who knows, later on I might do the leg all the way down to Batavia, wherever Batavia is. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me, folks, and I will catch you later. Actually, no, before I catch you later, I'm going to see what they said regarding my flight. So let's just hit real fast unload. There was a heating problem in flight and you were considered partially responsible. Your career is slipping. Right, so that heating problem really affected this last flight quite badly. So and I wasn't able to correct. Sir, this was just horrible. Oh my gosh, I was just so unsatisfied with this flight. Anyway, yeah, so it actually wasn't my fault. It was the heating system didn't work after I loaded the sim back in again. So anyway, I will see you later, folks.